My name is Jasmine Emmanuel. I'm the head for the Center for Foundation Studies in Wawasan Open University. So the Center for Foundation Studies, actually, we deal with mata pelajaran umum. I think some of you know MPU, courses that start with MPU and WUC. MPU courses are courses that are compulsory. Every student in the country has to do them. Sometimes students will ask, like, why must we do all this philosophy and penghayatan and everything? As you are aware, according to the Malaysian blueprint and our Malaysian education policy, they don't just look at the development of a student just mentally, say in software engineering or in psychology or in early childhood. We are looking at the holistic development of a person. And you may ask, why holistic, right? So, you learn how to be emotionally strong, you learn how to be mentally strong, so that when things happen in your life, you can cope. Sometimes a lot of people just study what they're supposed to study, but the other parts of their lives don't grow. And when problems start happening in life, and you will get people into depression, and we're not blaming anyone because life is very tough right now. But we hope to actually equip you with the skills to be strong, to withstand anything as well. Okay. So that is why we do the MPU subjects, and for you to get to know our country and our system and all that. Okay. Let me share my screen now. Can all of you see the screen? Can somebody respond? You can see the screen, right? Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, what we are doing this afternoon is called Returning to Learning Workshop. Returning to learning meaning you're coming back to learn after a very long time. And there are certain skills that we need to acquire, or certain areas in our life that we need to strengthen so that we can be better students. Now, like Mr. Prakash said this morning, when you were in school, or when you studied in a face-to-face institution, it was. Can we please mute ourselves, everyone? Please check if you're not muted. Please mute yourself. Okay, looks like I have to mute some people. Okay. All right, just give me a minute. Yeah, I need to mute some people because we don't want to hear all your family secrets, during our session. So, okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. Where were we? Like Mr. Prakash said, we lose our train of thought when we are speaking, but no worries. Back to returning to learning. You were in a situation where you were actually guided, you were in classroom, everything was done, you could have a discussion straight away. But now as an online learner, you would have learned this morning that a lot depends on you, that you need to communicate, you need to be accountable for your life, and you need to take care of yourself, and there won't be, the tutors will be there, they will remind you and things like that. They will do all that. But the onus is on you. You have to see when is your assignment deadline. You have to take charge of your life in every area, whether it's in your marriage or whether it's in your family or whether it's at work. We can't really blame everybody for what we are going through, because a lot of times it's also about us. Now, we're already recording this meeting, Ashley. So, and we'll be sharing it. We'll be sharing it in the FlexLearn later on. All right. All right. Just hold on here. I need to just check that, confirm that we are recording this. Okay, just 1 minute. Yes, it is being recorded. So no worries, everybody. We will share this recording on the FlexLearn. Just give us another few days or so. We'll need to do a little bit of editing and we will share. Okay? All right. Okay, let's start off. The first thing, yes, we have our video off, you're muted. Just ensure you're muted, all right, so that it doesn't disturb anything that's happening right now. If you need to use your headphones, please use your headphones. You have logged in. We will have a Q&A session later on. So no worries about that, but you can put things in your chat box, which I will answer in a while. Now, the first thing is you need to ask yourself these questions. Before you start an online learning course, an open distance learning course, like what you're doing in WOU, are you self-motivated and self-disciplined? This is very, very important, okay? Because in life, there'll always not be someone to motivate us. So we are the ones that need to motivate ourselves, and we are the ones that need to have our schedules and our self-discipline to persevere through what we are doing. Now, are you able to work independently with very little direction? The tutors are there. They will, remind you of deadlines. They will help you with your assignments and things like that. But you need to work on your own. You won't be able to ask questions all the time everywhere. You need to find information. You need to do the internet search. You need to do the digital library to get your content, all right? So you need to work independently. The other thing is you need to ask yourself, do you have good time management skills? Okay, so as we are talking, reflect on yourself, do you manage your time well? It's like really important that you have good time management skills. If not, today I will help you with some guidelines on how you can manage your life better, but everything depends on you, all right? Are you a procrastinator? Somebody who says, okay, hari ni tak payah buat lah, esok buat lah, lusa buat lah, But sometimes things that you need to do at that time, you need to do because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Something might happen, your computer might crash, there won't be internet in your place, things like that will happen. So you need to not procrastinate, okay? Do you have basic computer skills and do you have access to a computer with good bandwidth? Now, one of the things as a student in an online or open distance learning institution is to make sure that you subscribe to a good service provider with good bandwidth. Very, very important, okay? Because otherwise you won't be able to participate in classes well or upload your assignments and so on. So it's like really, really good if you can subscribe to something that is very strong. Get a higher bandwidth, right? Something that you can afford, but a higher bandwidth. Are you comfortable in a virtual environment? We're so used to seeing everybody face to face, but we have to learn how to be comfortable and relate with people in a virtual environment. The other thing you need to ask yourself is, do you have good oral and written communication skills? Reflect on that. If you don't have very good English language skills, it's okay right now. You can still learn and develop, but you must do something about it, all right? Later on, I'll be sharing with you. You need to do something about your language skills because this university is using English as the medium of communication, and I'll also tell you why later on, all right? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. I hope you'll be able to say yes to everything because otherwise it can be a little bit of a challenge. Even if you cannot say yes in the next one semester term, or within the next 2 terms, we can actually get on the right track as well. Now, there are things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about COVID-19 is still there. I think after Hari Raya, there have been a lot of cases. We have a new variant now. In fact, one student this morning texted me to say that she's got COVID really, really bad, and that's why she can't be at the orientation. And, she's having really, really high fever, like 41 degrees and so on. So that's not good, right? Because it's bad. So please be careful. Use your mask, the whole things. I think you know what to do. But anyway, we'll be talking about health issues and how it's connected to our online study. We'll be looking at challenges of an ODL student. We'll be looking at responsibilities of an ODL student, how to manage life as an ODL student. We're looking at goals. We're looking at time management, okay? So these are some of the areas we're looking at. We're looking at planning and creating schedules. We are looking at stress management, motivation, also Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, kindly please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Boy, this is going to be tough because I'm alone here and, I can't be muting you and doing this as well. So please mute yourself. And then student engagement contact details, which I will also share with you. Now, when we talked about COVID-19 and health issues, when you are a student, maybe earlier on you were working and had a bit more of free time to, go and watch movies a lot, hang out a lot, maybe go clubbing or whatever you do in your personal time, your hobbies and so on. But the minute studies come into the picture and you know why you're starting these studies, right? You want to improve in life. And when you want to improve in life, there are certain things that you have to sacrifice temporarily or you have to put it aside. It won't be in your list of priorities. But one of the main things would be coping with health, with family, with work, with studies, all right? This is like really important. How do you balance all that? It doesn't mean you're going to study, then you neglect your wife and children and your parents and all. It's not that. You need to sit down and talk to your family and ask them for your support. Even if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, okay, some of you are much younger, ask your boyfriend or girlfriend for support because they need to understand that you cannot go pakto, dating all the time. You cannot go and hang out, go here shopping, this, that, and then you have to keep money for your studies. You have to pay your fees, so you cannot go for all these expensive dinners and all that. So the person who's really special in your life, that person needs to actually share your load with you. If they really love you, they will stand by you and motivate you and stick by you. If they're not doing that, then maybe you need to ask yourself whether that's the right person for you as well. Because people who love people will stand by them no matter what, all right? So coping with health, family, work, studies. And then meeting expectations of families, peers, and friends. There are some expectations you can meet. There's some, you cannot turn up at maybe every birthday party or every event that is happening. You need to explain and to them that, you have classes. Now, the other thing I need to ask you is, even though the tutorials are recorded, all right, they're not compulsory. Even though the tutorials are recorded, please turn up for class, because when you turn up for class, you can ask questions, and you get your answers straight away because you're interacting with your tutor. So if you watch a recording later, of course, you can ask on the forum, but it will take some time for them to revert to you, right? But when you're in the class, you can meet other people and then you'll find friends as well. Okay, these are the people from Penang, these are the people from Ipoh. Maybe you can even start your group discussions or things like that. All right, you can, go to Coffee Bean, have a cup of coffee and then about your studies or your assignments. So you can do such things, okay? And then ask your family, your peers, your friends, your classmates for moral support. It's very important, especially if you have small children, can your husband help to look after the children when you're at class, or, when you're doing your assignments, can you get the help of your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law, or your parents? So you need to actually get this. Now, the truth is, the reality of life is sometimes these people won't support you. All right. I would like to tell you a story of one student I had in one of our programs. Every time she came to tutorials, her husband would beat her up because he didn't want her to get a degree. Because he was a graduate, he didn't want, that typical mindset, my wife must not be more educated than me kind of mindset. So she'll be black and blue, and I really needed to take her to go and get help and all. But she stayed in the marriage, being the faithful wife she is, and, she graduated and everything. And today she has a tuition center and all that, and he's happily enjoying the money, okay? But he never gave her the moral support. Now, I'm not saying stay in a marriage where people beat you up black and blue. You need to get help because that's dangerous. They can kill you as well because something's wrong with them psychologically if they do that. But even if you don't get moral support, you need to motivate yourself and do the best that you can and not give up, all right? Okay, and then the multitasking part, you can be tired because today's workplaces, sometimes we work very late, right? And then overtime, we need to travel for work, you need to be on site. If you're, working with the oil industry or something, you're on the oil rigs. There are many, many challenges. And that's why we need to be strong mentally. And there's a lot of emphasis on mental health. And we found that out in the pandemic when people couldn't cope because mentally they were not strong. All right. So you need to help yourself that way. And if you need help that way, if you think that, at the Center for Foundation Studies, we can actually organize workshops where we can actually, sorry, whoever is needing to mute themselves, please mute yourself, all right? Just mute yourself, everyone, so that, we can continue. Okay, talking about dealing with mental health, if you need help, like I'm not saying, if you need help, you can reach out to me and we can see what we can do for you. But, if you think, there are workshops that can help you how to manage your stress and so on, we can do that for you as well for free, okay, from the Center for Foundation Studies. Now, distractions, your smartphones, your social media. I think we all know today, we have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything. There's a place and a time for everything, right? Everybody knows that. But today, everybody is glued to their phone, and we spend a lot of our time looking at other people's lives. Today, I want you to stop and look at your own life. My dear students, I need you to look at your own life. Don't live your life watching everybody else. For example, let's say you're into K-pop, oh, this person is marrying that person, that guy divorced his wife, this one is this one's new girlfriend. How is that going to help you if you're going to spend time looking at another person's life? How about you? What are you doing? Why don't you be the trendsetter? Who says you can't? So if you need to be on Instagram, you need to be on Facebook, or you need to be on TikTok, time yourself, 10, 15 minutes, that's it. Because if you're not careful, you can spend hours scrolling. And when you look at all the happy pictures put up by everybody, you feel depressed because you think, wow, they're so happy one, they went to Spain for holiday. This one went to Greece. I'm sitting here in Pulau Pinang and not going anywhere. So then maybe you should make plans to go to Greece and so on and Spain during your vacation, So prepare yourselves. You matter. Your life is equally as important as Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or Andy Lau or Jackie Chan or whoever, all right? Your life is equally as important. So limit the time you spend on social media, please. Because if it's not going to help you, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, okay, that's the old way of saying it, every Ahmad, Mutu, Akau is on social media, okay? Everybody wants to feel important. Everybody wants to do everything. You choose who your friends are, who you follow. Follow people who will show you a direction in your life and take care of you, not everyone else, okay? Now, so much for distractions, and then commitment. Your priority should be your responsibilities, your dedication, your self-discipline towards work, family, financial studies, and so on. All right? So please think about this. Today is a new day. It's a day when your life is being turned around. Mr. Prakash shared with you how he struggled. Those days, that was how it was when we had, those of us who were in distance learning. So today, a lot of help is given to you. Make use of that help, but take responsibility. Finally, the responsibility lies on you, okay? So please remember that. Now, technology, you need to know basic software, systems, gadgets, courseware, and so on, all right? So you need to know the basics. Time management, which we will look at in a little while, handling procrastination, teamwork, all right? Interact with your classmates, your tutors. That is really important. Now, put your deadlines in front of you. If you have a home office, you must create a place where you study, your own table or chair, and then you must have a little whiteboard or something. Put the deadline there, in big words, so that you know when are the deadlines. Now, if something happens, you fall sick or there's an accident or, something happens that you can't finish in time, then ask for extension earlier. Don't ask for extension 1 month after the deadline, okay? Because extensions should be asked for earlier. And then let your tutor and your course lead know so that we can help you. Now, sometimes certain students will be barred because they haven't paid their fees. Now, if such a thing happens, let your course lead know, and then they will see how they can help you. maybe not to pay the fees, but, whether they can, collect your assignment and keep it first. And then later on, you can mark it, and then you can upload it when you have paid your money and so on, right? Now, communication, very important to write, to be able to speak properly. And then finally, writing, mental block, ideas, confusion, you can have all that, all right? How do we handle that? Now we're looking at motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic, identifying strengths and weaknesses, sharing, teamwork, networking, and planning a schedule. Okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need somebody to mute themselves, please. Please mute yourself, everyone. Really appreciate this. Otherwise, it's very distracting when I'm like trying to share with you, okay? I will do the talking for this first part, and then I will give you a chance to respond and talk as well, okay?
Hi, madam, sorry. Someone's in the chat saying that your voice is a bit too slow.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
It's lagging, is it? Is it lagging? Is the video lagging? Then another person says voice very clear. What's happening here? Okay, if generally it is quite clear, everything is fine, then it could be your own bandwidth, okay? So can you check and see? It could be your own bandwidth, and that's why it's lagging. Because most probably, everybody says it's clear, right? Okay, thank you, sir, whoever you are. Sorry, I couldn't see your name, but thank you for telling me. If there's anything urgent, just let me know, yeah? Just, unmute yourself and let me know, okay? Thank you. All right, let me continue because I want to keep the time and I want to get that you have rest as well. So you find that basically all your classes on Microsoft Teams, like they told you today, you need to have a little place to work, like you can see in the picture there, self-learning, discussion, and also online learning. Now, I remember this morning, student asked, we just go in few minutes to FlexLearn. Go into FlexLearn, watch the videos, study online on the FlexLearn. Because when you download it, the experience is not the same. You won't get the same thing. Previously, when WOU had PDF materials, it was all words, you could download. But now we have a lot of media inserted into the FlexLearn to make it interactive. So study on FlexLearn, ladies and gentlemen. And, as course leads and as tutors, we monitor your performance on FlexLearn as well. Not to give you grades, but to see whether you are studying and whether you're going in or not. And also when the Ministry of Education, when they come in and to see whether our students are studying and, really following the course, they will also go and see the analytics. Because in FlexLearn, we can see the analytics, okay? All right. All right, when we talk about managing responsibilities, we need to plan ahead. I think many of us do, right? At the beginning of a week, you need to plan for the week, every day, what are the things? And then sometimes things happen, you need to swap responsibilities. So you need to plan ahead. And then you need to prioritize as well. So every day, prioritize a few things that you need to do. And even early in the morning, they say, this statement, eat the frog. That doesn't mean you have to go and kill one katak and eat it. Eat the frog, meaning the most difficult task of the day, you do it pagi-pagi and finish it. Just face it, okay? Take the bull by the horns and what? So prioritize. Don't know what to do. Don't understand. Don't keep quiet like they told you this morning. Ask. Now, we do have class WhatsApp groups. Of course, the forums are there, like Mr. Prakash said. But the class WhatsApp groups are there for you to reach out, like, you need something immediately, put it on the class WhatsApp. Because especially for my courses, I'm in every class WhatsApp. So if the tutor is busy teaching at that moment in his own university or something, I will answer for you immediately, okay? So seek help. You need a study place which is very quiet, all right? So find a place in your house that is quiet where you can shut yourself away. Adjust your pace of study. Don't go and cram everything last minute. If you do everything last minute, then it's going to be tough, all right? Find a suitable time for studies. A lot of married people usually study at night because they put the children to sleep or, the children are doing their homework and then, they only study at night. So if that is suitable for you, you do that. And then time management, very important to have time management. We will talk about it a little bit more, and avoiding procrastination, and keep in touch, okay? Don't keep silent. Don't just keep silent. Because when you are silent, we don't know what's happening. Reach out to your course leads, reach out to your tutors, ask for help, all right? Now, if you look at the next slide here that shows you the soft skills for 21st century. So these are the soft skills right now. You find that, thousands of graduates are being churned out at every university. And this morning, Mr. Prakash said there are advantages of having an ODL degree, right? And one of the main advantages is you are a working person and you're learning parallel. So you have more opportunities for networking, for problem solving, etc., compared to a person who just finished Form 6 and is studying, no work experience at all, never been in a work environment, wouldn't know the challenges of work, So, for example, if you're studying something in logistics and you're working in logistics, you sometimes have more experience than the tutor, because the tutor not all tutors, okay? We have people in industry, we have people in academia. So you find that you will be able sometimes to share with the class how to solve a problem on ground, which maybe somebody doing the theory may not be. So that's why when you're an ODL learner, you're actually a more effective learner as well. So looking at the skills needed, how to influence and persuade people, how to make good decisions, how to problem solve without getting upset, things going wrong and so on, how to manage time, how to manage conflict. Now, not everybody will think the same way we think, right? Even if we are all of the same race. Okay, for example, let's say you're Chinese. The Chinese in Penang can be very different from the Chinese in KL. They may speak different languages or dialects. They have different cultures, but they're Chinese. But that doesn't mean one Chinese will understand another Chinese very well. I mean, they would understand to a certain extent, but not everything. Because each one of us has our own background, has our own we have our own life experiences that actually determine us and have nurtured us into what we are today. So conflict management styles, communication. Okay, I need someone else to mute themselves too. Please check everyone. And then interpersonal communication, facilitation, and so on. So by the time you finish your degree with WOU, we hope you are experts at all these skills as well. So when you go out and, you apply for a promotion, for example, and another person comes in, the person may have a first-class degree. Let's say you just have a second-class upper. Okay, fine. But you have all this. Who do you think they will choose? They'll choose you because you are an asset to the organization. You can do all these things, whereas everybody else is just starting from scratch. So be proud of your ODL degree. It is not in any way lesser. Of course, there are a lot of people who say, traditional mindset is to say that, you come from a regular university, it's greater. I mean, yes, in a way, they have been there for hundreds of years and so on. But nowadays, it's not like that anymore, okay? I'm not putting down, I also came from a regular university. At a time when I studied, there was no open distance learning. That tells you how much older I am than all of you, okay? But now when I'm working at I've been working in WOU for 18 years, all right? I was the first academic to join WOU. And when they talked about the vision and mission of this place to help working adults to get a second chance at life, that was one of the main reasons why I joined WOU. And I am so glad to be a part of your lives. Some of you are in my classes and I am there for you. And if you need help in some of these areas and you need some skills development, do let us know. We will help you as well, okay? Now, one key thing I want you to take back about procrastination. If you are somebody who procrastinates, you are not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastination. There's a difference. It's a habit. It is not you. It's not your character, it's a habit. And if you really look at yourself, procrastination is a form of stress relief for some people, but it is not a good thing to do. Because the stress of, for example, many years ago when you learn how to drive, the stress of learning how to drive So you postpone it. Think that if I do it tomorrow, I do it next week, then I will have less stress. It's not true. In life, a lot of things you got to take the bull by the horns. You have to be tough. You have to stand up and you have to do things, okay? And you have to be brave. So whatever you can procrastinate, you think you can procrastinate, don't do it. Simple things. You have a cup of coffee, wash the mug straight away. Why must leave it in the sink and think somebody else will wash it? You come back after 10 hours, it's still sitting there, smelly and all, all right? So how long will you take it to wash? Will it take you to wash your mug? 1 minute? Then it's solved. So the same way, when you're doing assignments and all, do them in parts, section by section, and then put it all together. You will find that you'll be all right. So remember, you're not a procrastinator. You have a habit, and it is a way of stress relief and a way of not dealing with the situation. Like, I don't want to deal with the situation, so I procrastinate. All right? You have to, what we say, man up, or woman up, and deal with the situation. Okay? One thing you can do, okay, like let's say I have to go and say meet my boss. See, the boss has called and we don't know why the boss has called. Acknowledge the stress. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now serious, just make this a habit. Interrupt the procrastination habit of saying like, I don't want to meet my boss today. I'll tell him I got stomach ache. I'll meet him another day. Just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk in and say, hi, good afternoon, sir. You wanted to meet me. Do one thing. The problem is the habit of avoiding something and not dealing with it. And a lot of things in our life go wrong in our family, in the bringing up of our children, in our marriage, because we don't want to deal with it. Especially Asians, we sweep things under the carpet. People are toxic, people use us, we don't have boundaries, we sweep it under the carpet. But then it has a way of catching up with you again. So you need to be like really very careful, okay? All right, are you okay so far, everybody? Can I hear some response? Can I go on? Kenna, are you learning something? Are you learning something?
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Today you are learning a lot. All right. Okay, just try and see what you can remember or take some notes. But anyway, I will share this on FlexLearn soon, so you'll have the slides, okay? Now, a goal without a plan is just a wish. For example, if I say, yes, I want to do my degree. I want to get a degree in logistics. The first step you have taken is good. You've already signed up with WOU, or even if with another university, you have already signed up. Now work it out. Otherwise, it's like, I wish I wish. You sit there and wish. It's not going to happen, It's not going to drop from heaven, right? You got to work with it. Of course, in life, sometimes we have miracles, God gives us miracles. But most of the time, you got to work for it, okay? So a goal without a plan is just a wish. And when you look at goals, your goals must be specific. Who, what, where, when. Okay, I'll need to score an A or an A+ on all my assignments this semester or this term, actually. Now we use the word term already. To improve my total CGPA, it should be 3.8 and above. Then only I can be on the dean's list. And if you're, first class honors category student, your whole fees will be paid by the university. So you can work towards stuff like that. So who, what, where, when. You can't improve what you don't measure. You need to measure, how do I improve this? All right. You need to think how you're going to measure it. Challenging, but not impossible. You cannot say this month, I'm going to lose 15 kilograms in weight. Is that possible? It is possible, but it's going to destroy your health. All right. So if you go on social media, everybody will make you think that every little inch on your body that is extra shouldn't be there. You should take this, you take this. Within 1 week, you lose 5 kg. There is no such thing, okay? Because most of these things, it may happen. You lose a lot of water and you lose a lot of body mass, but you don't lose the fat, okay? So you can be very skinny and your fat content can still be high. So please, even if in the weight thing, you can say like 1 or 2 kg a month, all right? Achievable, challenging, but achievable. And it must be relevant. It must be closely connected to the objective. And then you have a completion date. So you tell yourself by this day, okay, now this semester, I think for level 1 subjects for Center for Foundation Studies, now different schools have different deadlines, okay? So don't confuse. Sometimes you're taking subjects from different schools. So look at the deadlines given in your assignment. So I think for Center for Foundation, for those doing MPUs and WUCs, it's the 8th of June. Assignment 1 is due 8th of June. So then you have that completion date. You don't wait and finish on the 8th of June. Finish by the 1st or 2nd of June, check everything and submit, okay? So that's important. Now, effectively, it says, if you can't manage your time, you can't manage anything, all right? Okay, I don't know where these funny red lines all came from. They were not there originally on my slides. So I'm not sure where all this came. So sorry about that, all right? Time is the scarcest resource, and unless it is managed, nothing else can be managed. Peter Drucker, management guru. So time is the scarcest resource, not gold or anything, because you only have that limited time in your life, and that's about it. All right? Okay, where did all this... Can you all see the red lines, everybody?
Yeah, I can see it. It's from Mr. Cheong, I think.
Yes.
Why, sir?
Yeah.
Red lines? Can you remove those red lines, please? Because this is recorded, it will be shared to everybody. Oh no.
I think
Anyone
Mr.
can help him
Cheong
remove this red
just,
line?
I think hang on.
it's from Mr. Liu.
Yeah, trying to figure out a way
You
how
need to
remove
use
it.
the eraser.
Okay, please help him, someone, because I'm managing it from my side, so I can't like see all the other tools.
He need to erase by himself. There is a tools there.
Okay, can you guide him, ma'am? Okay, thank you so much. There's still one little yellow line there on the left-hand side. Please be careful, all right? Don't mark or anything on the slides online, because this is like shared with everybody. Later on, when you have your own copy, then you can highlight, okay? All right. Now this one, later on, when you get the slides, you can go into this page and complete the exercise to find out how good is your time management, and then work on that. All right, I will not open it today to everyone because I want to maximize the time with other things. But when you get the slides, go in and read, okay? Now, techniques of time management. Very important that you take charge of managing your time, because if you don't manage your time, it leads to stress. Even pagi, right? Like you want to get up at 7 o'clock. Many of us love to press the snooze button. Tidur another 5-10 minutes lah. Tidur another 10-15 minutes lah. And then you get up later, and then you find you'll be rushing, grab this, grab that. Somebody says something, you get marah-marah, your wife or husband, pagi-pagi, scold the children, get into the car and go traffic jam, hong. Your whole day is gone. Like I realize, like even living where I live right now in Penang, if I am just a few minutes late leaving the house, I'll be caught in some sort of not like KL jam, but some sort of jam. So I have to make sure that, when the alarm rings, jump out of bed. Don't say another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes. Now, one of the reasons why you shouldn't press the snooze button is because if you fall asleep again, your sleep cycle takes at least 45 minutes. So when you disrupt it, and get up suddenly, you feel sleepy, you feel lousy. So tapaya, all that, right? So poor time management leads to stress. So don't do it, okay? Manage your time well. Create a schedule, have a planner. I think you know about this, you're all adults. So a successful learner does not procrastinate, sticks to a weekly schedule and completes assignments ahead of time without reminders. Now, that doesn't mean you don't Don't block out time for family, taking the children out, going makan together. Make sure you have that, just that it may be a bit more limited in opportunity, okay? But please make time for the people you love because they are also very important in your priority list. Okay. Now, failing to plan is planning to fail. I think we know that, all right? Very important. We plan our day, we plan our weeks, we plan the best that we can. And then sometimes, life happens, right? Things happen. We fall sick, people pass away, things happen in life. But if you don't plan, it's going to be worse. So make sure you plan your life. Now, every week, every month, daily, assess and plan your workload, all right? And this is not just for academics, okay? Because now it's like family, academics, and work. Put that all together and plan the workload. Adjust each day, evaluate, review, prioritize. This is like really, really important. Now, if you need help in this area, also let me know later. I will take some notes and then we will see what we can do for you to help you with this. You would have seen planners like this. You have all the various slots right up to night. So I'm not saying you must fill all the slots up, but maximize the slots and prioritize which are the most important ones. Now, a lack of time management results in stress. So 3 things you can do. Recording, write everything you do down, write it down. Analyze, go through the schedule, pick the time wasters. Now tell me, okay, you can unmute yourself and tell me, what are some of the time wasters in your life? Anybody?
Social media.
Thank you, sir. Very honest answer. Thank you for that. True. We talked about that earlier, right? You can scroll, and then 1, 2, 3 hours can go. So once you know that, remember, I suggested to you 15 minutes, maybe in the morning, 15 minutes at night, but not the last thing before you go to bed, because they also tell you that if you look at your phone a lot before you go to bed, that light, right, from the phone will affect your sleep pattern. So not the last thing at night as well. Besides social media, what else is time wasters?
Toilet
Anyone?
breaks.
Say again, Hassan.
Toilet breaks.
Toilet breaks. Okay, how
mean-
long will you go to the toilet anyway?
I mean, in my workplace, some of them like curi tulang with the pretense of going for toilet breaks.
Yeah, true. And then tea breaks. And I mean, you find that in some of those public offices, right? Every time you go, rehat, break, they've gone here, gone there. But so that's true. Those are time wasters. And that's why, even during the COVID time, do you know there's some people who cheated and said they had COVID so that they don't have to go to work? So that's why they say kononia virus, but actually it's a bad thing to do, right? To say you're sick when you're not sick. And if you're really sick, then what happens? Okay. All right. So those are some of the time wasters. Prioritize to-do list, which is most important. What is most important to you right now? I mean, of course, you have your role as a son, as a daughter, as a father, mother, whatever, right? Those are also priorities because family is priority as well. But look at your list. What can you do this week that you maybe can do later on next week? Not to say procrastinate, but prioritize. Now, the other thing is declutter stuff. I think you read a lot about people decluttering now, because we are in a society that is very materialistic. Everybody wants to buy something. And sometimes when we want to de-stress, they always accuse women of this retail therapy. Okay, go and walk in the mall. You end up buying things you didn't even plan to buy, right? And then you put them away and never even use them. And then one day you find, you have maybe 5 or 6 of the same thing because you never knew you had it in the first place. So declutter yourself, even the room where you're studying, the room where you're sleeping. Not to say I'm advocating a minimalist life, right? But I find that if there are too many things around me, I'm also affected. So clean it up. Schedule activities in blocks and stick to them, okay? Look at this, motivation. I can't do it, apostrophe T, you remove that, is like you can do it. And the next thing I would like to tell you is just because you feel fear doesn't mean you can't do it. Do it afraid. Do you know what this means? Anybody not sure what it means? Do it afraid. Or would somebody like to tell me what it means to you? What is something that you would do afraid?
Think if I may,
Yes, Isan. Yeah, go ahead.
I think if I were to interpret it, it's just face your fears.
Yes. Face your fears. Because if you don't face your fears and you just crumple in one corner, it's going to be like really, really hard. Okay. That's one thing that I needed in my life that I did afraid in that sense, because I was widowed very young. And because I was widowed very young, there's a lot of stuff that I was not sure how to do and everything. And even though I'm a working person and all, so there are a lot of things I had to take the bull by the horns. And many times I just tell myself, I'm going to do it. If I die in the process, I die, I go back to God. But otherwise, I will live and I'll become a stronger person, you know. So, and you know, sometimes in our society, life can be a little bit hard for women. You know, people do things and stuff. But the women in Malaysia, I must tell you, are actually very blessed. Maybe about 7-8 years ago, I went to do some social work in Bangladesh. And this was in a village. And I saw this man, that those long poles that you used to jaga lembu one, that you push the cow. He was using that to beat up his wife just because the baby was crying. And then, we wanted, but then he was like, he reminded you of one of the villains in the movies. And then, he's like so angry. And then the women were telling me, like, this is how their life is. They get beaten up every day. And they were Muslim women. And, they don't have the kind of privilege that our Muslim women in Malaysia have. In fact, our Muslim women have a lot of rights and everything, right? So, and then they asked me, what is life like for a Muslim woman in Malaysia? And, even though I was happy for our women, I didn't know how to tell them, here women go to work, even if they're divorced, they are working, they bring up their children single-handedly, they can survive on their own. But then there is like, the women don't work and you're dependent on a man that treats you badly. Now, I'm not anti-man, I'm just telling you, I was married to a wonderful man. So I'm not anti-man. Sometimes the wives do that to the husbands as well. We have, domestic abuse where the wives beat up the husband, just that they feel very ashamed to go to the police, but it happens. So life is not easy. And we have a lot of things in Malaysia. I mean, no matter what, politics or whatever, it is still a good country and we have opportunities. So you can't handle something, ask. Just take the bull by the horns. Face your fears, do it afraid. And you find that you become a better person because of that. Now, when you get the slides, I would like you to watch this video by Lisa Nichols. She was someone who was married to a man who sold drugs and, he went to jail and she had to bring up a child single-handedly. And today she's one of the most famous motivational speakers. And she tells you, that sometimes when you fight and you want to get your own things done, you cannot think about everybody else. You cannot think about saving everybody else. And that doesn't mean you're being selfish. At that moment, you got to save yourself and your child first. Then from that overflow is when you can do other things. So when you get the slides on FlexLearn, please do watch this. Or you can actually go and Google in YouTube straight away. I Can Do It by Lisa Nichols and watch it when you're free. It is a talk that will change your life, all right? It will really change your life. Now, when we talk about motivation, I think basically, you have intrinsic motivation and you have extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic is what comes from inside you. Extrinsic is what comes from outside, all right? So inside, you want a sense of achievement, you're curious, there's interest, you want to achieve something. Now, everybody has the same chances in life, okay? You can say, okay, for example, your parents were poor, they did not have the money to give you, and so on. Fine. That is your past. All right. That is your past because it was tough for them. But if your future is going to be like that, it is not your parents' fault. Think about that. Reflect. Life is in your hands right now. You are working, you are studying, you have opportunities that your parents never had. All right. During their time, they may not have had those opportunities. So that's why they say, if you are, you didn't have opportunities earlier in life, fine. But if you're not going to have opportunities in the future, it would be your fault because you will need to create those opportunities. Go and look how you can create them. So intrinsic motivation from within. And that's why you find today a lot of people with a lot of challenges, with a lot of disabilities in their life, they can still go on to do something. Okay. Extrinsic motivation is like sometimes parents tell you, okay, you get all A's in your SPM, I buy for you a phone, things like that. So those are your extrinsic motivators, your career and exams and so on. Now, what are the 8 motivational factors that you need to consider? Firstly, a conducive environment to study. You make sure you have your own little cubby hole, your cave, your small place where you can sit, you have a table, you have all your stuff for you to study. Break down the bigger tasks, okay? Don't tell yourself, tomorrow I'll finish my assignment 1 for learning skills. You can't. You look at it, then you'll procrastinate, then you will stress out, and that's it, finish, habis. Little by little. Do it little by little, put it together. Set realistic goals. We talked about them earlier. Have incentives. Okay, you tell yourself, all right, what is your favorite thing that you like to do? Let's say you like a certain kind of Starbucks coffee. I finish my assignment 1, I submit, I will go to Starbucks and enjoy that coffee. So you give yourself incentives. Okay, not expensive incentives that you finish all your money and then say, tada, do it, all right? But small little things that give you pleasure, think about them. Be positive. Learn actively. Go to the library, digital library, everything at a click of your finger, right? So go to the digital library, kachao your course lead, they're there to be kachawed. Ask tutors, classmates, ask them. Now, please also relax and exercise regularly if you can, unless you have some health issues that prevent you from exercising. But even then, even older people and all, they can sit on a chair and do all those exercises. I mean, nowadays, YouTube is full of so many of those videos, right? You can even run on the spot. Okay, haze outside. I have that issue when it's hazy, then I'll have asthma. So I cannot go and walk outside, right? So I have to walk inside the house. So you have all these YouTube videos where you can actually like walk on the spot and things like that. So do them. Have group discussions. Make friends, even though they are virtual friends. Make friends, okay? Now, stress. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust the sails. And there's a lot of truth in it. Sometimes we create the stress ourselves, like when we get up late and then tension, run here, run there. Sometimes things happen to us that are beyond our control, but we can adapt. And, human beings, one of the best things that we can do, that God's given us the ability, is to adapt. But you must be willing. You cannot say, my grandfather did it this way, my father did it this way, I'm going to do it this way, my child is going to do it this way, his child is going to do it this way. Now, it's different if they're religious principles, like anything to do with religion, like, for example, fasting during Ramadan and all. I mean, those are values and principles of a religion. But there are some other things that you can actually adjust that are not sins, that are not morally wrong, but that can help you go and become a better person. So adjust your sails. And, instead of watching too many watch movies, it's fine, but instead of spending a lot of time, say, on Netflix and stuff like that, today there's so many podcasts. And one of the best world coaches we have is, you have Mel Robbins, you have so many different people that you can listen to. And they teach you how to live, how to survive, how to manage your time, You don't even have to go and find, a personal coach to coach you. They give you those skills to live. So adjust the sales. Be willing to change as long as it is not morally wrong. All right. I'm not encouraging you to go and do something morally wrong. Things in your life that can better your life. And sometimes things that we have learned from young in our families, all of us, some of it can be bias, some of it can be discrimination, some of it can be mental barriers that stop people from going further. Back to do it afraid, back to facing your fears. Just say, I'm going to do it. It's not wrong. I'm going to break out of it. Sometimes you can break out of hereditary mindsets, mindsets that have actually tied a person down. Like women, for example, a lot of things that have tied us down. I'm not saying that you must go out of control, but you can go and do a lot of things with your life now. Today, the generation is such. So even if things are hard, there are things that you can take up and do. So please adjust your sales. Stress management, 3 different approaches. One is confront. Go to the root of the problem, change the environment, change the situation. If you can do that, do that. Second one is you can't change the situation, so you just adjust. And the third one is you just survive and accept. So which one is best for you? Sometimes you can't throw out all the people in your life because they're your family sometimes, right? But you can draw boundaries with them. Some people you can't confront. What can you do? But you have to handle the stress yourself, because we don't want you to go and ultimately kill yourself or something. Now, I think even though in the pandemic, we had a lot of people who killed themselves, and now in Penang especially, the press has been told, don't report any more people jumping off the bridge. But that doesn't mean people haven't jumped off the bridge. Very often people are jumping off the bridge, and not just jumping off the bridge, they're jumping off other places. Some people go to the hotel, book a room, take sleeping tablets and die in there. And the youngest person who has died in Penang, I think, who's killed himself is about 9 years old. Bullying in school. Friends bullied him, body shamed him, so he killed himself. And that's why, one thing I would like to share with you, my dear students, is be very careful of the language you use with people. Sometimes we come from backgrounds where they say, oh, ni macam baby elephant, dia ni gemuk, dia ni tu, dia, people's mouths, sometimes I feel needs a lot of Clorox, put and wash, don't say all those stuff. We just demean a person, body shame. And if somebody just has 1 inch extra on the body, you already say like, oh, dah gemuk dah. First thing they see you is, are you so fat already? What happened? You eat so much. You don't know what happened to the person, whether it's a hormonal thing. Now, I'm telling you this because of years of asthma, I've had to take steroids. And I took a lot of steroids. My asthma was very bad at one point. So I gained a lot of weight. And because I gained a lot of weight, everybody thinks I'm their best client for some slimming course, without knowing that actually I don't eat that much. I am a victim of so-called of these steroids. But so in such a situation, you can feel like, fine lah, you think I gemuk lah. And, doesn't matter. But for some people, they feel all these things very personally, and they cannot take it because they don't look like Miss World, or they don't look like this person or that person. So it destroys them within themselves. And, people tell them, I won't marry you because you're fat and stuff like. I would think like, you don't want to marry, fine, I'll be all right. You do it afraid. Don't think like, just because he said that and because he looks like one Tom Cruise that I cannot get to marry him, so I must jump off the bridge. So I'm just giving you examples, okay? So there are a lot of some things that you accept, some things that you deal with. Some things is like, if you have a friend that is talking to you like this all the time, destroying your self-identity, destroying your self-esteem, maybe it's time you walked away. Now, these are things for you to reflect. Boundaries are important in your life. You shouldn't give access to everybody. Now, if you notice, I think was it Hassan who said about social media? Some people share everything about their life on social media. The question is, why? For what? You think all those people are going to help you? You know, like for example, the latest one about this boy who said that the cafeteria closed and he was starving. I'm not sure whether you watched that video. And then you have all the comments, you know, that come. I mean, why you go and cari susah, right? Keep your personal life private. You want to share some other stuff, share. Don't have to say this, don't have to share that, don't have to talk bad things, you know. So as a WOU student now, I'm encouraging you, prioritize your words, prioritize your life, prioritize your time, because you matter. People can say, oh, you are not the King of England. Fine. I mean, yesterday he got crowned, right? King Charles III. Fine, you are not King Charles III, but you are Hassan, and Hassan matters. In the eyes of God, Hassan is the same as King Charles III. It's not that God is going to favor one person more because it's a human being, right? So please see it that way. Know that you're important. Prioritize yourself as well, not to the point of being selfish, but to know that you matter, all right? So think about the stress components. Slow down, keep calm. Take it easy policy, right? Everybody tells you. Unplug, very important. Go and do something you enjoy, even walking by the beach or something. Have fun, the right kind of fun, okay? Not drugs and all, yeah? Breathe, okay, later on we'll be doing that. Relax, go outside, smile often, meditate, pray. All these things will help you, all right? Okay, let's do some stress relieving exercise, everybody. Can you, you're sitting now, right? Are you lying down? Because I can't see you. But anyway, even if you're lying down and listening to me, sit with one hand on your chest, okay? On your chest, another on your belly, yeah? Belly, tummy. Now, take a deep, slow breath from your belly, counting to 4 as you breathe in. Okay, ready? Hand on your chest, one on your belly. Take a deep, slow breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release your breath slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So this is one way of doing it. You got to repeat it at least 3 or to a maximum of 7 times until you feel calm. Breathing exercises always help you, right? Breathe in, breathe out, because more oxygen goes to your brain and it relaxes you. With this kind of breathing, even the blood pressure that's a little bit high will come down. But that doesn't mean you don't take your medicine if you have blood pressure issues, all right? I'm just saying the breathing helps, okay? So try this. Can we do it one more time, everybody? One hand on your chest, another on your belly. Deep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release your breath slowly and completely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did it help anyone? Feedback? You think it helped?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That is just one of the many. You can find a lot of this on YouTube and all right? So please go ahead and get help from there. Now, 10 steps to become less anxious. Breathe. Breathe deeply like what we did, right? This is another one. Breathe through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. So this is another thing, all right? And keep breathing. So the breathing part, you know why actually, as human beings, we don't breathe very properly most of the time. Those of us who have asthma and all, we really know what it's like when you cannot breathe. And those of you who would have had COVID and you were breathless, you know it's like really tough when you cannot breathe, all right? Sometimes they say it's because, when a baby is born, and then if it doesn't cry, they will smack the bottom and make the child cry. So when the child does that, he tends to shallow breathe because he was happily sitting in the mother's womb, suddenly came out, culture shock in the world, don't know what is happening, and then kind of smack some more on the bottom, so scream and scream, right? So the poor thing, can you imagine the child adjusting so happily sitting in one cocoon and then come out, this is the real world and it's tough. So that's why the breathing part, very important, okay? Now, talking about lifelong learning, which Mr. Prakash shared with you today. Now, the capacity to learn is a gift, and the ability to learn is a skill, but most of all, the willingness to learn is a choice. So today you have chosen to continue your studies. That willingness to learn is the one that will keep you right till the end. All right. And the fact that you have a capacity to learn, that itself is a gift. I think we are the only one of God's creations that can really learn a lot, right? And think, I mean, our brain capacity is very different. Even the animals, they can do so many things, right? You see them performing in circus and so on. How much more as human beings, okay? So think about this. Okay. If you have issues, you can take a screenshot of this, or later on when you have the slides, you can also look at it. Anything related to the library, you can write to library@wou.edu.my. Anything related to IT, support_its@wou.edu.my. All right, and then when you're writing to your course lead, please give your full name, your location. So you got to say, okay, I am Jasmine from Penang. My email address is this, and this is my contact number. The problem is this. I have students who will write to me, dear Miss, this thing happened. Help. And then I don't know which course you are taking, which school you are from, what faculty, which RC you're from. How am I going to help you, right? So you got to say, I'm a student of Learning Skills for University Studies. I had this issue. Can you please help me, So don't write like you text in WhatsApp, all the short form and everything. Write decently and properly an email to either your course lead or to the RC so that they can reply. So that is why you see at the corner here, it says, write your name, your student ID, your class code, your course code, and your course name. Very important, so that we can immediately help you. And then we also have student engagement. These are our two student engagement officers, Sharmila and Rizal, and their contact details are there, handphone number and also email address. So keep this slide, copy this down, take a screenshot of this if you can, even right now or later on when you get the slides, refer to them so you know who to contact. So anything to do with academics, your tutors first, and then your course leads, and maybe later on your dean, okay? Anything to do with administration, your RC, your regional center, all right? And then anything to do with library, anything to do with IT, you have the contact points there. Anything else you want to ask student engagement, you have their names and number, okay? Which step are you in right now? I won't do it. I can't do it. I want to do it. How do I do it? I'll try to do it. I can do it. I will do it. Yes, I did it. All right. So think about these many steps. You can get stuck at the bottom there and procrastinate and say, till the cows come home or whatever, I'll be sitting there and I won't do it. Or you can do it afraid. You can face your fears, take the bull by the horns and go up these stairs. Okay. All right. Now we're going to, let me unshare, stop sharing. Can you all turn on your videos, please? And if you have any questions, I'd like to see you. And that'll be good for me because at least I know who I'm talking to. If you have any questions, I know this morning you asked a lot of questions, but if you have any questions, can you ask now? You can unmute yourself. We're 100 over people here, so no worries. Just ask. Or if you want to put in the chat also, can. All right. Questions, anybody? Kok Yan, JB? Any questions? He's got a lovely smile. Any questions? No. Vigneshwaran, JB also?
I'm okay, no question.
You okay? No question. Anything else you want to ask? Because we have, I told you we can finish at 2:30. I didn't want to keep you till 3. I know you're tired. So much you have heard today, right? But can you share with me, something you learned from this 1.5 hours?
I learned about what's different with human and animal because human can choose, right?
Yeah, choose and can do something about it also,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Thanks,
correct,
Fabian.
correct.
Anybody else wants to share? Kong Swai from Berso, Chang Kong Swai. What degree are you taking, sir?
I'm taking the business in accounting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Bachelor degree in
bachelor
accounting.
degree.
Okay. All right. Anything you
Yeah.
learned today? I mean, because you look like a very experienced person too. Is there anything?
Yeah, because I worked for many years. Then after that, feel like suddenly at the bottom of my neck. So I need to further study my degree course after diploma. Yeah, quite some
Okay,
time.
that's good. Congratulations. Very proud of you.
Yeah, I need to choose something for my next step. Yeah.
Yes. Because, sometimes in life, nobody else will come to help. You have to help yourself. Of
Yeah.
course, there are good people to help us, but sometimes we just have to do it ourselves. Thank you. All right. Tarshini says, sorry, miss, I'm not feeling well. I'm so sorry, Tarshini. I hope you will get better soon. All right. Take care of yourself. Anyone else would like to share something? Regina Glenn? Regina Glenn from PGRC. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, it's all about time management. So we'll look into it. It's a nice sharing anyway.
Okay, I hope it meant something, sharing to you from my heart, actually. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you, Regina. How about Abid Arafat from KLRC? Abid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to share with us something, Abid?
Actually, I do. It's about the one you mentioned few last slide that you shown to us. Actually, I experienced like stress for some time, but people always keep reminding me, just relax.
Yes. Okay. And it's not like really easy as well, right? To relax. There's a lot of times you have to comfort yourself and speak to yourself. I always share this with the students during the Returning to Learning workshop. When you lose someone, especially to death, someone that you love, or you're going through a heartbreak, your boyfriend breaks up with you after so many years, or your girlfriend, how do you handle that? Everybody will tell you, move on, get on with it, go and find. There's so many fish in the sea. But it's not like that, right? I'm sure you know it's not like that because your heart does break. Now, what do you do? For me, my husband died, like I said, when I was so much younger. He died suddenly. And I was still teaching at that point. And it really, my world crashed because I really loved him. We had a very good relationship. And how did I get over it without coming into depression? Of course, I spent a lot of time praying and everything, but I knew I had to face it. I knew, I have to still go on, but how do I do it? So when I feel like crying, now please do this, even the guys, okay? Even especially guys, Sharvin, Vignesh, Dipti, all the guys, all right? Sometimes our Asian culture, they'll tell you, be a man, don't cry. You've heard that, right? But guys, you need to cry. You know why a lot of men die early from heart attacks? Not just because of cholesterol and drinking and smoking. A lot of stress. Many of the men, they carry a lot of stress in their heart, but they won't tell their wives and children or their family. And people tell them, no, you cannot cry. You are a man. You have to be strong. And then they try to be strong. And then all the stress bottled up here. But like Abid said, all stress bottled up here. So what you can do is, okay, you don't want to cry in front of your girlfriend or boy. Okay, that's fine. Go shut yourself in your room, set an alarm clock. Cry for 15 minutes. Ambil banyak Kleenex, okay? Girls also, take all the Kleenex, everything, sit there, cry. Once the alarm rings, shut the alarm, don't press the snooze button, shut the alarm, get up, go wash your face, go live your life. The next time you feel like nak nangis lagi, set the alarm for another 15 minutes, sit down and cry. I mean, this is something that I learned. Somebody taught me this from Australia, one of the Australian universities. They taught me this. And then when I feel like, ayo, I tak boleh buat lah, susah lah, my heart is breaking. The other thing you can do is self-talk. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, you, beautiful or handsome, I believe in you. You can do it. And then move on. If today somebody says you're not handsome enough, I don't want to be your girlfriend, fine. It's okay. Somebody else will find you really, really handsome because it's people's individual taste and choice, right? But your world doesn't end because somebody rejected you. The hardest pain in life is when people reject us, right now. Would you agree? Noem, Najmi, would you agree? The hardest pain is when somebody rejects you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have value. You know, a lot of people tell you, right, that, you know, at the point of a baby being conceived, it is actually millions of sperm that come, you know, in the sexual act, but only one makes it to the end. So even at the beginning of your journey, before you became a baby, you're already a survivor, right? And because you are the best that made it. So how can somebody say you ni tak ada value ke tak ada nilai? Betul tak? So remember that, right? Until God says it's over and it's time for you to balik kampung, you know, like really go back to God, there is still a life, and live it well. I mean, live it with principles, live it religiously, no worries, but live it well. You will find that blessings will come. Today, somebody tikam you at the back. Tomorrow, God will honor you in front of everyone. Things happen. Sometimes things take time, okay? So you have to manage your emotions. You have to be emotionally strong, which is also another skill, and mentally strong. Just please, if you don't take anything else away from this session, I am telling it to you like a parent or like a friend. Keep strong, everyone. You're beginning a journey that is going to be challenging. You feel like crying, you need somebody to talk to, you can call me. I mean, not that I'm available all the time, but you know, I'll be there. But don't quit, okay? Please don't quit. You can take breaks, but don't quit, okay? All right, let's look at some of the other things. Where can we find the video in FlexLearn? Once it's edited and is put up, you can actually, there'll be an announcement that the Returning to Learning workshop video. So there'll be an announcement on FlexLearn and you can see that. If English not so good, got any class to improve, we have like CFR courses and everything which you can do online. But you know, the best thing you can do to improve your English, start speaking in English, start listening in English, go and listen to some English songs, sing along with the songs, then your pronunciation improves, okay? And you start speaking, you know, some people say, it's not our language, la, must speak Malay, la, must speak Chinese. La. But, you know, remember at the beginning of the talk, I told you, our medium of communication in English is because whether we like it or not, it is a global language. So you want to get your degree and then you want to go and work in, say, New Zealand, or you want to work in Australia or something. If your English is not good, you cannot go, you know, you must pass an English exam to go, you know. Do you know that? They won't accept our SPM marks all. You got to pass an exam called IELTS. So if you have big dreams, you want to go and work, even if you want to go and work in NASA, you want to go to space and all, you need English, okay? So improve your English, you can do it. I'll just tell you a quick story of one of my students. Years ago, I used to be at Cikgu Sekolah Sains, Sekolah Berasrama Penuh. And I had one student from Kelantan who came from a village and, you know, hardly speaks English. Everything A1 except English F. He was studying in matriculation, USM matriculation, the time we had that program. And then he said, Cikgu, tak tahu lah macam mana, tak ada orang nak cakap dengan saya. So I told him, who in the house can you talk to? He said, Tok one all cannot. Then he said, Ada, one cow in the house. One cow, lembu. So I told him, you take your grammar book, because they had grammar book. I said, you take your grammar book, go and teach the cow. But I said, don't teach the cat. Cat will be like, after a while, boring, will get up and walk. Cow will say, moo, moo, move your head, right? Okay. Anyway, that's how he started his English journey. I lost touch with him many years because I've been a teacher I've been in academics for 40 years, okay? So that's a long time. One day I saw this really handsome looking guy in the airport. He came straight up to me and, in the gracious Malay way, he held my hand and kissed my hand. And he said, Cikgu. And I'm like, who's this guy? Because I've had thousands of students, right? And he said, teacher, I'm the boy with the cow. And he spoke English so fluently. He is now in the diplomat corps. He's working internationally. And he spoke so well. And, he said, thank you for telling me. Because after that, he went and improved himself until he can be a diplomat in another country. He's, I think, right now, 40-something years old, nearly 50. So things can happen. So even if you have to teach English to a cow, you can learn, okay? So whoever wants to learn English, there's so many things you can do. Go to the net, you can find out a lot of stuff, all right? So you can improve. If you want to take classes, you can get tuition classes wherever you are. There are a lot of people who offer training online and so on. You can do that. Okay, Dipti says English not very good. And then Kok Yen says you can learn from YouTube. You can learn from a lot of websites. All right, no confidence to talk in English, but we can try. At least we can try. All right. Lots of free courses you can learn. So listen to music. All right, listen to English music, but don't listen to the funny ones that have bad words all. Okay, don't listen to them. Listen to the nice ones. All right. Just talk and sing to other people. That's a good thing. Also can learn from movies. Watch good movies, okay? Not trash, yeah? Watch good movies. Okay. Time management. All right. Thinking about this both. Thank you. All right. Feeling motivated. That's good. Breathing exercise was great, Tiffany says, because I'm a very nervous person. Yeah, that helps. Okay. All right.
Right.
One last question. Yes. Sir.
Yeah. So sometimes we do have something like we feel like ADHD. It's a small symptom of procrastinating.
Mhm.
So I do feel it now because been a lot of pressure from work, and then being sent out on assignment over in the United States here, and then with a family coming in and a new baby being born. So yeah, all those stuff been piling up. House chores, works, reports to be sent, like daily reports, weekly reports, hourly reports. So yeah, so to wrap up all the exercise that been shared just now was a bit can say it's
Okay.
helpful. So thank you,
Yeah.
Miss.
Welcome. It was just the tip of the iceberg, but prioritize, okay, Brendan. Not easy when you're a new parent, you're in a new place, you're in the US right now. Are you in the US right now? Okay. So,
Yeah.
you're studying from a distance and everything. But if you need help, please ask for help, okay? Especially when
It's
academic.
almost 1 a.m. now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Were you the one who said that it was at 4:30 in the morning just now, in the morning orientation? Were you the one? There was one person who said that he's overseas and it was 4:30 in the morning and he was at the orientation. So anyway, all right. Okay, one person asked me, what subjects do I teach? Right now, I teach learning skills for university studies, workplace communication. I do some MPU subjects like comparative religions and so on, okay? I don't do too many subjects because I'm also in admin, but these are some of the things that I can take care of. If you need to get my email address or something, you can get it on the website, all right? Dipti says LSS1. Dipti, are you doing learning skills right now, Dipti? Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm your course lead, Dipti, so if anything, you can ask me. But anyway, if you need anything, just ask. I will put you in touch with the right person. Is that all right? Okay, Anything else before we go, before we call it a day? All okay? You will only know after you start, right? Yes, yeah, okay. All right. Okay, everybody, all the best to you. Don't forget to contact us if you need help, okay? We are here for you. All your course leads, all your tutors, the admin staff at the RC, we're all here for you, okay? Just take care of yourselves, and if there's anything we can do to help, please ask. All right? Have a good afternoon. Take care, everyone. Bye.